Radicals. I'm going to do my very best to go slowly as possible. Now, looking at this first one. You see this negative sign is not paired with the 4, it's making the answer negative. So we're going to take the square root of 4, which is 2, and we're going to make it negative. So our final answer will be negative 2. On this one, the negative is inside the radical. There's no number multiplied by itself that we've dealt with yet that can multiply by itself and create a negative. So we're going to say not possible or no solution, however you want to do that. Once you get into Algebra 2, we'll be able to do that. Number 3. This one I'm going to break apart into the square root of 25 over the square root of 81. What this allows me to do is we'll get a 5 and a 9, and that will complete our answer. Number 4, square root of 0.64. This is going to be 0.8, just like 64 and 8. Number 5, the square root of 36 is 6. Multiply that by 10, we'll get a 60. On number 6, really depends on how you were taught. I showed my class this method. 9 times 11 is 99. I know the square root of 9. Square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 11 I do not know, so I'm going to leave it off to the side. 72, I'm going to use 36 and 2. Square root of 36 is 6. Square root of 2 I do not know, so I'm going to leave it. Number 8, I'm going to reduce the top. I'm going to go square root of 25 times the square root of 2. Square root of 25 is 5. It's still over 15. I can reduce the 5 and 15 to 1 and 3. So I'll get the square root of 2 over 3. Now, this one, x to the 4th, I have 4 x's. That means that 2 pairs of 2. So x squared will be that answer. Basically, you're dividing it by 2, dividing that power by 2, taking the whole number answers. Same thing here. I've got a6 times a6, so a6 squared is a12. So the square root of a12 would be a6. On my next one, k4 is the only thing I can break out. I've got letters and numbers. The square root of 10 cannot be broken down, but k to the 4th, the square root of k to the 4th is k squared. And then my 10 is going to stay inside the radical. My next problem, I've got 24, C6. The 24 can be broken down. Negative is still on the outside. I'm going to say 4 times 6. C6 has a perfect square. It's going to be C3. So the square root of 4 is 2. I've got a negative. I've got my C3 still there. And of course my 6 is still on the inside. Square root of 6 still on the inside. Has not been broken down yet. Next problem, the square root of a number squared. These are reciprocal items. The square and the square root, they're going to cancel each other out, leaving us only with 6z. A square root times a square root, this is the same as the square root of 22 squared. Reciprocal actions, they're going to cancel out. Now on number 15, I'm going to take this a little bit differently. I'm going to break 35 up into the square root of 5 times the square root of 7. I'm going to break 14 up into the square root of 7 times the square root of 2. And there are a lot of different ways to do this. If you've got a different teacher, it's very possible you've been shown a different method. But you will always get the same answer, which is good in math. Lots of different ways to do it. Same answer. That's what we're looking for. Square root of 7 times the square root of 7 is just 7. And then I have the square root of 5 times the square root of 2. That's going to give me the square root of 10. 5 times 2, 10. Number 16, very similar to that last step. Square root of 11 times the square root of 7. Give us the square root of 77. It cannot be broken down further. On number 17, there's a lot of different ways to do it. I'm going to push everything together because I can see where it's going. I know that 27 times 3 is 81, and I know the square root of 81. I know that x5 times x7 is x12, and I know the square root of x12. You can, in fact, if you wanted to, you could write it all like this. It does not matter. Either way is accurate. And you'll get the square root of 81 is 9. The square root of x12, of course, will be x6. My last one, I'm going to push these together as well. square root of z to the 10 will be z to the 5th. And that's the end of the first page.